The Americans have fallen to just one game above 500 after an undefeated start to the season. But tonight they'll face a familiar foe and one they have dominated through their highs and their lows. They'll look to get back on track as the battle for the Falls continues with a home and home, starting here on the American side. It's the Americans, it's the Ironbacks, it's PGCBL baseball right here on the Americans Baseball Network.
That the ace of the Giant pitching staff that season was Niagara Falls native Sal Magley. A league-low 2.71 earned run.
They chose Niagara Falls because of the stadium, because of the history, because they believe in Niagara Falls.
Tickets 716-215-6161.
And where do you play?
We play right at Sal Magley, gorgeous stadium.
Set the 1-0 to Boyle. Is hammered to right field.
Go, baby, go, baby. Go,
Come
baby,
here,
go,
fence.
Baby.
That ball is way out of here.
Welcome back into Sal Magley Stadium for PGCBL Baseball. The Americans and Ironbacks facing off in the fourth edition of this battle for the Falls. Americans have taken the first three games over the Ironbacks, looking to make that 4-0 tonight, and if they're able to, it'll snap a skid where they have dropped 5 of the last 6 games, or rather 6 of the last 7 after the loss last night to Jamestown. But nonetheless, we'll take a look at the PGCBL standings, see where the Americans are sitting after that stretch. They are just outside the playoff picture at 7-6, tied with the Tarpskunks, who beat them over the last couple days. Still ahead of the Ironbacks and Red Wings, who sit in the basement and right knocking on the doorstep of this West Division playoff race. The top 4 teams will make it. Pios just go up to 8-5 after the daytime victory over the Pilots today. Doubledays in second at 8-4-1. Muck Dogs up to 9-5, boosted by the welcoming of Oklahoma first baseman Braden Horton. Joined the team after the College World Series. The Muck Dogs have been rolling. The Americans will see them right here at Sal Magley on Sunday, and we'll have a post-game catch on the field right after, as our ads here on the broadcast have been hyping up. That is right around the corner, so stay tuned for that, as we are just about to get underway with the pregame ceremonies right here at Sal Magley.
The Indigenous Spirit Dancers is a Native American dance group from the Seneca Nation, with members representing the Haudenosaunee Confederacy. Our traditional songs and dances are meant to uplift the spirits of the people, just as they have for generations. Today we hope to do the same for you.
While we wait for the pregame ceremonies to get started here, we will give you a look at the lineup for the Niagara Ironbacks. Carter Shin going to be leading off, playing shortstop. He's batting .360 after a hot streak of his own over the last few days, a 4-game hit streak. Devin Medor had a 3-hit game yesterday against the Muck Dogs. He'll bat second. Andrew Bishop batting third, playing first base. Connor Gayton's back in the lineup. The cleanup hitter will catch. Alex Keene in right field, bats 5th, coming from Moorhead State. Keanu Cowley, the DH, bats 6th. Chase Hubble in center, batting 7th. Nolan Phelan back in the lineup, and he will be in left field. Apologies for the graphical problem, but he is batting 8th. Jack Sarkuri, the extra hitter, bats 9th, and Caden Wilson will round things out and play 2nd. And we will break for the pregame ceremonies right here at Sal Magley.
I remember going to play Onondaga Community College in lacrosse, and they would play the Haudenosaunee national anthems before the games. And then like half of them were Haudenosaunee. The guy I had to cover on defense, his name was Annalise Boxer. Like, and then they'd shred us by 25 goals. It was every single time we were there.
They do these like Sabres games or like tennis games, and they'll do this for like a good 5, and then. I find it interesting, but what I find interesting is like the reservations they have with like the gas stations and all that stuff. Like they have some cheap gas stations. Like there's one, if you ever go by Bonaventure, there's one where you buy like $20 worth of gas and you get a free joint with your gas.
What was that? They filled up my gas a day or two ago. I was a matter of them taking a drive.
And like even if you don't get $20, there's a guy usually out there that'll give you people who have spent $20 and you can take it and get your free joint. And the mic cut out.
Looks sounds better.
Honestly, it smells better like that.
We're good on that.
No, we haven't done anything. The mic run with battery? Yeah.
Yeah, it smells so much better.
You ever seen like the haka from like New Zealand or Australia?
You know what I really want to do? I want to go to Hawaii and like the tribal stuff. Like, have you ever heard them like do their things? I don't know what it's called.
It's probably like a haka. Yeah, I think that's like a.
Yeah, it's probably similar. Whatever their like cultural version is.
No way, this works. Okay, good. Might just be in a dead spot.
I'm not sure what he's playing.
Their mic keeps cutting out too.
Be respectful, it's native dancing.
I mean, they are.
Now, let's welcome tonight's starting lineup for the Niagara Ironbacks. First, the head coach, Richard Griffin, and the pitching coach, Michael Nightingale. First for the Ironbacks, number 5, Carter Shin. Second, number 7, Devin Mador. Hitting third, number 10, Andrew Bishop. In the fourth spot, number 11, Connor Gaines. In the fifth spot, number 25, Alex Keene. In the sixth, number 27, Chase Hubble. In the seventh spot, number 8, Keanu Cowley.
We welcome you back and thank our Indigenous dancers for starting off the pregame ceremonies tonight. And now the Ironbacks are taking the field. And they'll have Ethan Catney Forbes on the bunt today. It's the second time that he will be facing the Americans. Face them in Canada on June 7th. And as they do right here at the ballpark, we will give you a look at the Americans lineup as well. Ian Huang is going to be leading things off, batting first, playing second base. Evan Core going to be in center field tonight. Grant Moore still trying to recover his knee over the last couple of days. Gavin Boyle will be in left bat third. Paul Delanto, the cleanup hitter, will move to DH. Nick Pass will be doing the catching, batting fifth. Ethan Madison, the extra hitter, bats sixth. Graydon Miller back at first base will bat seventh. Chris Casaldo, the shortstop, in the 8-hole. Brady Bowles at third base, so it's an all Panola left side of the infield. He'll play third base. Carmen Panaro rounding things out, playing right field. He's one of 2 lefties alongside 1 switch hitter in this lineup. And on the bump for the Americans, he'll be taking the mound in just a moment. Keegan Bazinet, making his 3rd start of the season. He is 1-0 with a 3.09 ERA, 9 strikeouts on the year. Looking to keep this success going against these Ironbacks. It's his first time facing this team all season. Started back on Sunday, June 8th against the Tarp Skunks, and then again on Friday the 13th against the Doubledays. Now seeing the Ironbacks for the first time this season. We've got Yankee Doodle Dan and Apollo coming out to the field now. The Americans' mascot and arena host duo that has been keeping this ballpark going all season long.
Head to toe and freedom. He's the red, white, and blue. Blue holding the spirit of his stance together. Yankee Doodle Dan.
And Avery Vogt will be on public address tonight over here on the broadcast. I'm Andrew Roberts, your play-by-play broadcaster all season long. We'll have action here at Sal Magley momentarily, but after this color guard comes out to the field, we're going to take a break in just a moment for the national anthems. "O Canada" will be sang by our own Canadian intern, Teddy Yo. Also the box office manager here at Sal Magley. And then Yankee Doodle Dan, of course, will be singing the American national anthem. So we'll break for that in just a moment.
Fans, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthems. "O Canada" will be sung tonight by our own Niagara Falls Americans box office manager, Teddy Yo. Thank you, Teddy. At this time, we ask that you please remain standing and remove your hats for the singing of the national anthem. Tonight's anthem will be sung by the true patriot himself. Please give it up for Yankee Doodle Dan. Fans, give it up for Yankee Doodle Dan.
Welcome back to PGCBL Baseball here on the Americans Baseball Network. Thank you to Teddy and Yankee Doodle Dan for the respective Canadian and American national anthems. And before Keegan Bazinet is on the bump, we'll have a ceremonial first pitch. A Seneca Niagara Casino employee in year 23 there. It is Johnny Lewis, Seneca Niagara employee and military veteran. And there it is.
Nice job, Johnny.
Right down the pike.
Play ball.
And here we go. Americans and Ironbacks will be taking the field in just a moment, as this battle for the Falls continues for a fourth game. It's the start of a home-and-home. The fifth matchup between these teams will be tomorrow at George Taylor Field. The Americans will cross the border for the second time this season. First pitch for that one will be at 4 p.m. right here on the Americans Baseball Network. We will have all the coverage once again. But for now, the Ironbacks are coming to bat. It'll be Carter Shin, Devin Medor, and Andrew Bishop to kick things off here in the top of the first inning. Keegan Bazinet, his third start of the season, looking to keep the success moving. A 3.09 ERA over his first two starts. Comes from SUNY Niagara. One of several SUNY Niagara arms on the staff, including Matt Barr, the MLB draft prospect, will pitch here at Sal Magley on the 4th of July against the Muck Dogs. So if you want to see an MLB draft prospect on the bump for the Americans, either come to Sal Magley or tune in right here on the Americans Baseball Network, and you can see it for yourself. But for now, it's his end-trip teammate Keegan Bazinet taking the hill. And Bazinet has had quite a lot of success for himself. And here's Carter Shin for the Ironbacks as we get ready for baseball here at Sal Magley. Shin, slow start to the season, but he's really picked it up, batting .360, .928 OPS, a 4-game hit streak. We'll see what he can do against Bazinet. The first pitch will be high and near the helmet of Carter Shin for ball one. Shin playing shortstop tonight. That's been his primary position. Here is shared time with Caden Wilson, who will be at second tonight. That's sent up the middle. It'll get through the gap for the base hit. Carter Shin, the first base runner for the Ironbacks today. And it comes in just one batter face for Keegan Bazinet. It'll be Devin Medor batting next. 308 hitter, 748 OPS. Has knocked in 2 runs as a runner on first right now, but Shin has some speed. See if he can steal. First pitch is right down the pike for strike one. Ends up a little bit to the right side of the plate, but still well in that strike zone. The 0-1, but first a pickoff attempt at first, unsuccessful. Carter Shin sliding back in. Medor facing a lot of his former teammates, and one of which is Bazinet. So Bazinet was saying he was excited to face his college teammate rather in Medor. And here it is. It's a 1-1 count in this SUNY Niagara battle. Out on the diamond. Bazinet, funny enough, is originally Canadian, playing for the American side of this battle, but the throw to second base is going to be an error. And Carter Shin stopping at third, but gets a couple of bases off of that one. And it'll be ball 2. Carter Shin stealing second and advancing to third. The Americans have an error on the board very early here. And now the runner in scoring position for Medor looking for RBI number 3. But will Bazinet win this battle? Right now it's 3-1 to Medor. Ironbacks making some noise early here against the Americans hurler. The 3-1 pitch. And that is a chopper. And it jumps over the shortstop, Chris Gazaldo. Carter Shin coming in to score, and reaching on the error is Devin Medor. It's 2 errors in just 2 batters faced for these Americans. Not how you want to start, but plenty of time to recover. Andrew Bishop will bat next. He was the final hitter due up in this inning, but will not be the last at this point. There's another chopper Gazaldo's way. This one will be fielded properly and sent to first for the double play. Chris Gazaldo redeeming himself just moments later. Gazaldo has been excellent on defense at shortstop all season long, and today sharing the left side of the infield with his college teammate Brady Bowles. Connor Gatens, the cleanup hitter for the Ironbacks, now with 2 down, and the base is empty. First pitch from Bazinet is going to drop in there for strike 1. The breaking ball will not be swung at by Gatens. Bazinet with the count in his favor. Check swing, he did not go. It'll be 1-1. So the double play grounded into by Andrew Bishop. He's struggled to start this season. And that is going to be sent on the liner into left field. It'll drop in front of Gavin Boyle for the base hit. Boyle in left field for the 3rd consecutive game. The second-year American rejoined the team this week. And now, Alex Keene up to bat. With a runner on first and 2 down. The pitch from Bazinet will get in the low corner for strike 1. Near the feet of Keene. Actually performed better over at Moorhead, where he batted over 300 in Division I. Looking to get up to that here in the PGCBL, but that'll stay up too high to make it 1-1. 2 hits and 1 run scored for the Ironbacks in the early going here, but Americans have recovered from plenty of 1-0 leads. That's going to be a pop-up sent down the third base line. It is going to be caught by Brady Bowles. Nearly out of play, but it'll be out number 3. We'll head to the bottom of the first inning and give you another look at the Americans lineup. We'll be right back.
No, I'm kind of thirsty.
Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah. Oh, thanks,
Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better.
Back for the bottom of the first inning, and we'll give you another look at the lineup for the Niagara Falls Americans. As I mentioned earlier, it'll be Ian Huang leading off, playing second base in that leadoff spot for the 3rd time this season. Batting second, it'll be Evan Core in center. Then Gavin Boyle batting 3rd, playing left. Paul Delanto, the DH. Nick Pass doing the catching, batting 5th. The extra hitter, Ethan Madison, will bat 6th, and then it'll be Miller, Gazaldo, Bowles, and Panaro. Back-to-back Panola guys in Gazaldo and Bowles. Panaro batting 10th rather, and playing right field. And on the mound for the Ironbacks, they will be facing Ethan Catney Forbes. Catney Forbes facing the Americans for the 2nd time this season. He's 0-1 with a 7.36 ERA and 2 strikeouts, and the last time that he made a start for these Ironbacks was against the Americans. Ended up coming out of the pen for 3 2/3 against Geneva on the 15th, but really struggled against Niagara Falls the first time around, as the Americans went on to win that game 11-3. I mean, some of that damage was done against J.J. Reynolds, the reliever for Catney Forbes that day, but nonetheless, Catney Forbes did struggle last time against the Americans. He will look to rebound in this second start against the Americans. But right now, he has some insurance on the board. It's a 1-0 lead for the Ironbacks. And here's Ian Huang filling in that leadoff spot for Grant Moore, just looking to get that knee 100% before coming back for these Americans. And Katney Forbes, first pitch of the night, will go in the low inside corner for a ball. Huang had a couple of walks last night, showing off his patience. See if that can come again here, or if he can get on base another way, possibly a hit. But that'll be sent down the third base line foul to even up the count. Ian Huang spent his first year at Niagara University, now in the transfer portal, and has had a hot start to the season to help him out. And that's going to be lined into left field for the base hit. It's headed towards the wall. Huang headed towards second, and he is going to likely have his third double of the season. Huang on second base for the first hit of the Americans' day. And with a runner already in scoring position, Evan Core will come up to bat. Core has a hit streak of his own. 8-game hit streak was extended late in the game against Jamestown last night. The Americans were getting one hit until very late in the game, and they attempted to surge back but left a lot of runners on base. Hoping to buck that trend tonight, as that'll get in there on the inside part of the plate for strike one. Huang with the leadoff double here for the Americans, his third double of the season. And he has a big lead at second. Will take the chance to show off his speed as that one gets away from the catcher, Gatens, and Huang sliding safely into third base. It'll be a wild pitch by Katney Forbes. Makes it 1-1, and now Ian Huang one base away from scoring for these Americans. Americans managed by Paul Wolf and Will Cordero. Cordero serving as well as the third base coach tonight. And that is going to be another one sent into left field for the base hit. Evan Core, hit streak is at 9, and he knocks in the run on that one. It's 1-1. So 1 run, 2 hits apiece in just 1 inning of play, and now it's Gavin Boyle. Boyle batting .222 over his first 2 games. Had a great first game right here at Sal Magley. Hit a ground rule double that nearly left the ballpark against the Tarp Skunks on Wednesday rather. That'll be chopped foul for strike one. Gavin Boyle spent his first 2 years of school at SUNY Niagara, now transferring to Southern Indiana. And he has Evan Core, his college teammate, on first base. Core hurrying back to first on the pickoff attempt. Will remain safe. Americans have already committed 2 errors, hoping to keep that in check the rest of this game. But right now, just looking to get some more runs on the board, as Boyle will send that deep into left field, foul territory. And Nolan Phelan just not going to be able to run fast enough for that one. It was too far out of play. And it is 0-2 to Boyle. Boyle struck out 3 times last night. Hoping to recover from that night. But, I mean, there's a reason he's swinging for the fences. He has a lot of power. Sent a foul ball into the VIP box last year. That one will go right over the third base stands into the concourse near the beer garden. Deb's Beer Garden here at Sal Magley, the exclusive provider of all alcohol at the stadium. It's 0-2 to Boyle. And Katney Forbes will check first base again. Nothing there as Core gets right back into his spot. The 2 stolen base leaders for the team in Moore and Jesmondi are not in the lineup tonight, but the Americans still looking to get after it on the base paths as Boyle swings and misses. It's his 4th strikeout in 2 games. Gavin Boyle, just a little bit of an adjustment period here after a strong opening night for these Americans. And Paul Delanto will be up next. Hitless last night, but a very strong start to the season. OPS still at 819 as Core takes off for second base on the first pitch. That'll be a stolen base on ball one to Paul Delanto. Core has a lead at second now. Delanto looking to show off his power here tonight, and that is lined right down the first base line, and he'll be tagged out at first, but it's a productive out. Evan Core safely into third base with 2 down. Nick Past will look to drive in the runner and give the Americans an early lead. Ironbacks, of course, scored first in the top of the first inning, but Americans can one-up them right here if they can knock in Evan Core. Core already drove in the leadoff man, Huang. And that'll get away from the catcher, Gatens, on the wild pitch. Evan Core will score. It's 2-1 Americans. The wild pitches are really killing Kattni Forbes so far today. And it's a ball on the count for Past as well, with the bases now empty as Core cashes in for the second run of the Americans' day. 1 run away from free McCafe Fraps, and it's a ground ball picked up by Wilson at second, sent to first base for out number 3. So that third run will have to wait, but the Americans lead 2-1 as we head to the second inning. We'll be right back.
My fellow American fans, my name is Frankie Morris, your social media manager. You can join us all summer long with many promotional nights and tickets just as low as $10. You can call and get tickets at 716-215-6161 and take a crack at the action.
Back for the second inning, and right here on the Americans Baseball Network, this second inning is brought to you by Bully Hill Vineyards, a great place to grab lunch and taste over 40 different wines. Go to bullyhillvineyards.com for more. And as we begin this second, Keegan Bazinet will stay on the mound, gave up a run in the first inning, looking to keep it clean here in the second. The run will go down as an earned run despite the errors by the Americans. So Bazinet's ERA going up just a little, hoping to lower it back down. As it will be Chase Hubble to kick things off here for the Ironbacks. It's a chopper headed to first base, and Graydon Miller will make the tag for out number 1. Next up is Keanu Cowley. Cowley, the DH tonight. Batting .267 with a .717 OPS as that is popped foul into the first base bleachers. And Nolan Phelan in the on-deck circle, the final hitter due up in this second inning for the Ironbacks. Cowley is originally an Australian, comes from Sydney. And he will send that into the outfield for a base hit. Keanu Cowley with the third hit of the Ironbacks day. Product of Hartford Community College is on the base paths. Nolan Phelan will bat next. Comes from Brock University in Canada. Traveled with the Welland Junior Jackfish prior to his time in the PGCBL. One down, one on for him as ball one will go upstairs. Jaxar Curry on deck, hopes to bat in this second inning. Despite not initially being due up, and it's a close call at first base, but the pickoff attempt by Bazinet unsuccessful. As Cowley will remain on the base paths, another pickoff attempt. Bazinet confident he can catch the runner, but has not yet on 2 tries. Cowley has a lead again. The pitch is a grounder picked up by Huang, will be sent to first base for the out. It'll advance Cowley to second, but 2 down here in this second inning as Jaxar Curry will step in. Curry at one point considered playing for these Americans, but ends up flipping over to the Canadian side. He is a Welland, Ontario native, so it makes sense. He'd want to play right near his hometown, right in the same stadium as the Welland Jackfish. And our Curry is a product of Jamestown Community College. That's going to be a chopper up the middle, picked up by Gazaldo, sent to first for out number 3. The Americans give up a hit, but get outs quickly here. No runs scored in the top of the second. We'll be right back. Ever dreamed of playing catch right here at Sal Magley Stadium? Well, join us June 22nd for a post-game catch on the field. Back for the bottom of the second inning as Ethan Madison, Graydon Miller, and Chris Gazaldo are due up to face Catney Forbes. Americans score 2 in the first inning. First one coming in on an RBI single by Evan Core. Scores Ian Huang, who doubled to lead off the game. And then Core comes all the way around to score between some wild pitches, some stolen bases, and a ground out that advanced him a base by Paul Delanto. So Madison will be up first here, the extra hitter tonight. Batting .333 on the season, OPS of .996. He was 3 for 4 against the Red Wings in his second game as an American. Also hit a home run in his Americans debut against the Skunks. And his bat has been fairly consistent ever since here in this Americans lineup. And Madison will send that on the fly ball to left center field. It will be caught for out number 1 by Nolan Phelan. Madison making some good contact there, but the catch will send him packing here in this second inning. Graydon Miller up next. Second-year American. Already up to 8 RBIs this season. That is more than half of what he had last year. 14 ribbies the entire season in 2024. Trying to get his OPS up closer to what it was last year. A .832 OPS in his first year as an American. This year at .705 in the early going. He's been the primary first baseman for Niagara Falls this season. They've mixed in Madison and Treadway, but for the most part it's been Graydon, as it's ones across the board to him with Catney Forbes pitching. a 2-for-3 night and 3 RBIs the last time he faced these Ironbacks. And he gets hit. So Miller getting on base against these Ironbacks again, but not exactly the way you want to get on. Chris Gazaldo batting next. Batting .355 with a .784 OPS. His 4th multi-hit game of the year came last night against the Skunks. Gazaldo, the shortstop, takes strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. Gazaldo had a 2-for-14 stretch in between all his multi-hit games, but he's starting to heat up again. Got going in Jamestown last night, looking to keep it going with the runner on first in Graydon Miller. Gazaldo playing his 8th game as an American. The pitch will be swung and missed on, but gets away from Connor Gaines. The wild pitch will get Graydon Miller into scoring position on strike 2 to Gazaldo. Chris Gazaldo still looking to reach extra bases for the first time this season. He's had a total of 9 hits. Every one of them have been a single. Also 6 RBIs on the year. Now the RBI chance here. Graydon Miller has a big lead on second base. Katney Forbes checks him, now delivers, and it's sent to the second baseman, Caden Wilson. Out at first base, but advancing to third is Graydon Miller. So it'll be 2 down. Miller looks to come around and score. If he scores, it's fraps for everybody in the audience. As Brady Bowles will bat next. A lot of walks this year, which has his on-base percentage much higher than his batting average in the early going. Brady Bowles with the 1-0 count now, and another inside ball puts the count well in his favor. Bowles looking for his 9th walk of the year, 500 on-base percentage despite a 154 batting average. And once he gets on those bases, boy, can he run as well. That'll get in there on the outside corner for strike 1. Bowles, the second straight Panola hitter for these Americans. Gazaldo grounded out to advance Graydon Miller to third. And now Bowles looking to score him. He'll send that foul behind the plate to make it 2s across the board. Katney Forbes 1 strike away from ending this inning without another run given up. Both of his runs in the first inning were charged as earned, with no errors on the day for the Ironbacks. And it's a swing and miss. Down goes Brady Bowles. That'll wrap up the second inning with the Americans with the 2-1 lead through 2 here at Sal Magley.
No, I'm kind of thirsty.
Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better.
Back for inning number 3 of action here at Sal Magley. The Americans up 2-1 through 2 innings. It was a scoreless second here after a lot of early action on the base paths. And this third inning here on the Americans Baseball Network is sponsored by Greater Niagara Federal Credit Union, by Geico of Buffalo, Sammy's Pizza, and McDonald's. And as I mentioned earlier, the Americans 1 run away from earning every fan a free McCafe Frappe. Also be on the lookout at these local McDonald's for some upcoming visits of the Americans. McDonald's a proud partner of the Americans right here in Niagara Falls. And Bazinet will enter his third inning of work. Had a clean second inning, looking to carry the momentum here into the third. He will face the final hitter in the Ironbacks order, Caden Wilson, and then it'll head back to the top with the hottest hitters in their lineup, Shin and Medor. Carter Shin 1 for 1 today. Medor 0 for 1, but a 3-hit game last night against the Muck Dogs. And showing bunt, Caden Wilson will take the outside ball. Wilson, another Jamestown Community College product. The final two hitters in this Ironbacks order, both from Jamestown. That'll catch the inside corner for strike one, evens up the count. The 1-1 will go outside over the righty batter's box to put the count back in the favor of Caden Wilson. Had the 1-0 lead in the count early. Now up 2-1. Pitch from Bazinet will be sent down the pike, but ends up low. They will say strike two on the check swing, though. Count is even. Bazinet looking to strike out his first batter today. He's forced a lot of soft contact, but no strikeouts yet on the day. He'll be upstairs and outside to fill up the count. Bazinet has struck out 9 on the year. Can this be number 10? Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. There it is. Strikeout number 10 on the year and number 1 on the day for Keegan Bazinet. And it'll be Carter Shin up next. Shin, 1 for 1 on the day. Was already batting .360 headed in. So his hot streak continues. He's on a 5-game hit streak now. And here is the first pitch from Bazinet. That'll drop on the low part of the zone for strike one. The breaking ball looked higher up originally, drops down for the strike. And another one, a broken bat on the swing, and appears he got a piece of it for strike two as his bat went flying. Richard Griffin quickly giving him a replacement bat. The manager and third base coach here for the Ironbacks. Got an Ironbacks player serving as first base coach as Michael Nightingale, the pitching coach, remains in the dugout. And you've got Jaden Corpin out on the field to help out after the broken bat foul ball. Now Shin stepping back in with 2 strikes. And that'll drop for the ball. Strike 3, gonna have to wait on this at bat. Free Sammy's Pizza about to be given out here at Sal Magley once Bazinet gets out of this inning. That'll drop in the dirt to even things up at 2s. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 down as Bazinet looks for his second strikeout in a row, and he gets it. Strike 3 on Carter Shin, out number 2 in the inning. So Baz did not strike out anybody in the first 2 innings of work, and now he has 2 in a row. Can he strike out the side with Devin Medor up to bat? Medor 0 for 1 today. Came in with a 748 OPS. First pitch to Mador is going to be sent into the outfield on the line drive. That'll be caught for out number 3. So no striking out of the side for Bazinet, but it is indeed a 1-2-3 inning. We'll head to the bottom of the third after this.
My fellow American fans, my name is Frankie Morris, your social media manager. You can join us all summer long with many promotional nights and tickets just as low as $10. You can call and get tickets at 716-215-6161 and take a crack at the action.
Back for the bottom of the third inning. One of the biggest crowds all season here at Sal Magley. And fans, we want to remind you that American season tickets are just $99. Stop by concessions or call 716-215-6161 to get your season tickets today. And the Ironbacks just went down 1-2-3. The Americans will have Carmen Panaro due up first, followed by Ian Huang and Evan Kaur. We also want to remind you that the merchandise stand is open here at Sal Magley. You can get your hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, baseballs, and much, much more down by concessions. The Americans merchandise stand is open for business. And Carmen Panaro up to bat first here in the bottom of the third inning, facing Katney Forbes. Swing and a miss for an early strike one. Panaro, another product of Niagara University, and has had even better numbers here in the PGCBL than he did at Niagara. That'll drop in the dirt. Ball one. If there was anybody on base possible, could have seen some runners advance, but first batter face to the inning. So Katney Forbes will catch a break on that one. Ian Huang in the on-deck circle. So it'll be back-to-back Niagara players. Albeit Huang will be leaving after this year, but a lot of familiarity between these two guys, as well as a few pitchers on the roster. Carter Hall, C.J. Hurley, John Ondas also hailing from NU. The 1-2 pitch will go up and away to even up the count. Katney Forbes has struck out 2 tonight, but also given up 2 runs, both of them earned. Him and Bazinet are now tied on strikeouts tonight. But Katney Forbes looking for the third. Instead, it's a fly ball into right field foul territory. It'll drop and hop into the bullpen. So whatever Ironbacks pitcher warms up first will have an extra baseball to work with when he starts out. See how fast it takes for the Americans to knock Katney Forbes out here. It'll be an upstairs ball 3. Count is full on Panaro. Carmen Panaro tore up these Ironbacks last time that these two teams played. Reached base multiple times in that game. And he will reach base again with the walk. So Panaro on base for his spring teammate Ian Huang. Back up for the second time tonight. And Huang 1 for 1 tonight. Led off with a double. Came around to score on the Evan Kaur single. The Americans looking to get something going with the top of the order once again here in the third inning. Ethan Katney Forbes checking on first base, where Panaro also already has a lead. It's a swing and miss by Huang for strike 1, though. Panaro looking to get going on the base paths. Does not have a steal yet on the season, but certainly capable. And the pickoff attempt at first base. Bishop off the bag, but either way, Panaro would be safe. And Ian Huang looking to get on base for the second time in a row. I think you could really say that this slump is over if he's able to do that. But right now, it's 2 strikes on him. Huang batting from the left side to face the righty Catney Forbes as Panaro has a lead. And here's the 0-2 pitch. Catney Forbes looking for his 3rd strikeout. He delivers. It's upstairs and away. Huang will stay alive. Did not even give the illusion of a strike, so Huang will not bite. Count still in the favor of Catney Forbes. But he'll try first again first. Panaro sliding in safely. A lot of pickoff attempts tonight in the early going. It has slowed down the pace of play here at Sal Magley, but nonetheless, just over an hour in and we're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Huang will foul that down the third base side into the bleachers. And a young girl picking it up with 1 ball and 2 strikes. Huang looking to get back in this count after starting down 0-2. And he'll take another one way inside. Gatens tries first base, but no success on the pickoff attempt. Americans getting out hit by the Ironbacks, but it has not mattered.
Now batting for the Americans, number 36 is center fielder, Evan Core.
And Ian Huang ends up being called for the strikeout there. So 1 down, 1 on for Evan Core. It's ball 1. So 1-0 count to Evan Core. But another pickoff attempt first. Seems like Panaro has not been able to catch a break over at first base. First with Huang up, now with Core up. And he takes off on the foul ball. He's going to have to go all the way back as it is nearly a barehanded catch out in the first base bleachers. Apollo was close to it. He's hanging out with some fans out on the first base side, rather. 1s across the board. Ball strikes outs. Apollo frustrated with the call out by our public address announcer, Avery Vode, and Huang taking off for second. The throw gets away, but he'll hold up as the center fielder Hubble was ready to throw it back in. Ian Huang with the steal. Or rather, Carmen Panaro. Panaro, his first steal of the season, has not been able to catch a break on the pickoff attempts, but now finally getting that steal. Evan Core, the chopper, sent to Shin. And the out at first, but headed in the third base is Panaro. Gavin Boyle is up next. Boyle struck out his first time up tonight. 4 strikeouts in the last 2 games, but His debut was a dazzling one, went 2 for 5. Looking for his third hit of the season now after an amazing 2024 for these Americans. His third year playing at Sal Maglie as he drives that into deep right field. That'll drop off the wall. Gavin Boyle hit it into second. It'll be close for the tag, but he'll get the double. Drive in Panaro. It's 3-1. McCafe fraps for everyone here at the ballpark as Gavin Boyle has his second double of the season. Gavin Boyle just loves playing here at Sal Maglie. Plays here in the spring. At least he did the last 2 seasons for SUNY Niagara. And has also been here the last 3 summers. First for the Power, and now the last 2 for the Americans. Delanto going to take ball 1 low and away. Americans now lead 3-1 as Boyle knocks in the run. Runner is checked. Gavin has the lead as it's a pop foul by Paul Delanto. The 1-1 count after the foul ball. Delanto is 0 for 1. Looking to snap out of a bit of a slump for himself. But a very strong start to the season at large. Takes the ball inside. 2-1 count. Delanto has had his fair share of walks this season, has also driven in 10 runs, and he's got a runner in scoring position with 2 balls and 1 strike. Catney Forbes checks on Boyle, now delivers. It goes outside. Delanto looking to walk for the 9th time this season. Trails only Grant Moore and Derek Jesmondi in walks this year, tied with Brady Bowles. Delanto also tied for the lead in home runs. Each of him and Ethan Madison have 1. And it's a full count to Delanto. Big moment with Gavin Boyle on second. Can the Americans really bust this game open with a 2-run lead? Delanto. The payoff pitch from Catney Forbes after he checks on second base. Gavin Boyle with the lead. That'll go inside, and Delanto's on base to make it first and second for Nick Past. Nick Past had base runners on the last time he came up. It was Evan Core at third base. He came in to score. But Past is 0 for 1. Looking for his first knock of the day. And possibly an RBI as well. He has 5 of those on the season, 2 of them coming on an opening day triple as part of the 7-run rally against the Muck Dogs. It'll be a chopper, shallow infield, and it is bobbled by Catney Forbes. A throw to first is not in time. And now 2 runners coming in to score. Boyle and Delanto will score on the error. Americans up 5-1. Nick Past safely into first base, and 2 runs will score on the first error of the day by the Ironbacks. It comes from the pitcher, Catney Forbes. So those runs will be logged as earned. Never mind, no earned runs, but the error by the pitcher himself. As now a meeting with Catney Forbes, 2 down, and Madison due up next. And no action in the Ironbacks bullpen just yet, but you can see a pitcher headed out there with catcher Marcus Butts. Will serve as the bullpen catcher today with the night off from the starting lineup. Butts has been very effective for the Ironbacks, but has shared the catching role with Connor Gatens, who's behind the dish tonight. And now it'll be Ethan Madison to face Katney Forbes with the runner on first. And that's going to be another wild pitch. And he is heading for 2 bases. Nick Pass all the way to third, but they'll send him back. Can only take 1 base right there. But it's 1 ball, no strikes, and wonder how fast this Ironbacks pitcher can warm up, because Katney Forbes has really struggled out here. Giving up 3 runs this inning alone. The Americans leading by 4 now. The pitch will go low as Katney Forbes' command of the strike zone is beginning to fade. He had 3 strikeouts on the day, 2 swinging, 1 looking, but starting to struggle here in this 3rd inning. It's a pop-up, and it'll go right behind home plate, drop just in front of the netting towards the VIP section behind home plate. Ethan Madison will swing and miss. It's 2-2. 2s across the board. Madison 0 for 1 today, looking for his first hit today. Came in batting .333. And Katney Forbes checks his runner, now delivers, and that's going to be a ground ball in the left field for the base hit. And coming around to score, it'll be close for Nick Pass. He slides in. 6-1 Americans. Graydon Miller up next. And the RBI single for Ethan Madison. Hit number 4 of the day for Niagara Falls. Graydon Miller looking to join the party. He was hit his first time up. Miller had 2 hits the last time against these Ironbacks, but swings and misses right there for strike 1. Has a runner on first base in the form of Ethan Madison. That's right down the pike. 0-2, and Graydon Miller going to have to watch out here. One strike away for Katney Forbes, but it's a line drive into center field. And making the catch is Chase Hubble for out number 3. We'll head to the top of the 4th inning. Americans lead 6-1 after a 4-run 3rd inning. We'll be right back. Ever dreamed of playing catch right here at Sal Magley Stadium? Well, join us June 22nd for a post-game catch on the field. Back for the 4th inning. We've got to take me out to the ball game a little early here. But this fourth inning is sponsored by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 237, by Johnny Ryan, and by Coca-Cola. Get all your favorite Coke beverages down at concessions every game. Keegan Bazinet has settled in after an early earned run, and he's had plenty of support from the bats here as the Americans lead 6-1 over the Ironbacks. They have really torn up Ethan Catney Forbes for the second time this season. And it'll be Andrew Bishop up first for the Ironbacks in this inning, followed by Connor Gatens and Alex Keene. A good trio of bats. Bishop has struggled in the early going here, but a .365 hitter with an 1124 OPS, over at Georgia Highlands Community College. They will face Bazinet, who has struck out 2, given up just 1 run and 3 hits. And even with some errors by the Americans, he is keeping the damage down in this game thus far.
Hey fans, this is the last call for the PG tickets.
Andrew Bishop will bat first for these Ironbacks in this inning. On the year, a .194 hitter headed into this game. And he's 0 for 1 so far today, so unable to get above that Mendoza line here. It's outside for ball 1. Ironbacks looking for their first scoring since the first inning. That's going to be a chopper sent to Graydon Miller, and Bazinet will come in to cover as that had Miller backing up deep for out number 1. It'll go in as a 3-1 ground out, and it'll be Connor Gatens, the cleanup hitter, up next. Gatens doing the catching tonight. Came in batting .286. Increase that as he is 1 for 1 on the night. And that'll be a pop-up into the shallow outfield. Graydon Miller has been busy thus far. Part of the ground out, and now the pop out. 2 early outs for these Ironbacks, and Keegan Bazinet pitching to soft contact masterfully here in this 4th inning. Alex Keene, the final hitter, due up for the Ironbacks. We'll see if Bazinet can send him down 1-2-3 for the 2nd consecutive inning. That'll get in there for strike 1. Outside part of the zone. Bazinet looking for strikeout number 3. But it'll go low and inside. Nearly hits the dirt for ball 1. Alex Keene, a tough customer. It's an opposite-handed matchup and comes from Division I Morehead State. And it's Bazinet will throw him the up and away ball, complete opposite corner of ball 1. Bit of an over-adjustment by Bazinet, but plenty of time to recover here with the count at 2-1. Here's the pitch, and it's sent on the line drive into left field, and diving for it is Gavin Boyle. He'll make the grab. That'll do it for the top of the 4th. Gavin Boyle has really made his mark on this defense. We'll be right back with the bottom of the inning.
No, I'm kind of thirsty.
Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better.
Back for the bottom of the 4th inning, and as we kick off this bottom of the inning, I want to remind you to follow us on all our social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok, all up and running thanks to our social media managers, Frankie Morris and Leah Fraun. Thank you so much. As it's strike 1 to Chris Gazaldo. It's the bottom of the order here for the Americans. Gazaldo, Bowles, and Panaro due up. Gazaldo will foul it off for strike 2. Pitch from Catney Forbes. It's fouled off by Gazaldo. And the 0-2 is upstairs for the ball. The 1-2 pitch is going to be outside to even up the count. Americans out hitting the Ironbacks 4-3, but in the score column been a lot more as wild pitches and errors have cost the Ironbacks. And that's going to be sent up the middle, line drive into center field, caught by Chase Hubble for out number 1. Chris Gazaldo now 0 for 2 today, and Brady Bowles will follow him up.
Number 10, the third baseman, Brady
Bowles came into this game with an on-base percentage right around 500. 8 walks to help him get there. Has started to mix in at third. Bit of a platoon going with Shane Prey. And it's ball 1. The low outside corner. That's going to be a fly ball foul down the first base line. Drops in the bleachers out of play. 1's across the board. Balls, strikes, outs. Americans looking to build on their 5-run lead. They can double that by the end of the 7th. It'll be mercy rule. That gets in there on the low outside corner for strike 2. The breaking ball by Catney Forbes will fool the batter Bowles. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Gonna be a bit outside. Caleb Sagan warming up. Will likely step in for Catney Forbes momentarily. And with the count even, it's a line drive into right field. Caught by Keene for out number 2. And the Americans looking to avoid going down 1-2-3 as Carmen Panaro will head up to bat. The first pitch will go inside, but finds the strike zone. The umpire calling strike 1 on a close call. I mean, Panaro, mind you, will be standing close to the plate right here, but that'll be outside for the ball. Panaro at least has one of them on the count now. Carmen Panaro in right field tonight. Great defender out there. Takes the 1-1 for ball 2. On the breaking ball by Catney Forbes. Hoping to finish this inning before getting relieved by Sagan. Might not be it for him if it does well. And that hops over Catney Forbes for the base hit. Panaro has his first hit of the day, but was able to reach base last time up with a walk. So it's his second time on the base paths. Came around to score last time. We'll see if the top of the order can help him out. And it starts with the leadoff man, Ian Huang, who's 1 for 2 with a double. Struck out looking his other time up. And now Richard Griffin will come to meet with Kattni Forbes. This could be it with Sagan ready to go out in the pen, but we'll see what the decision is here. Griffin talking with the ump before coming to meet with his pitcher. Carter Shin, the shortstop, also in the meeting. And now Griffin walking back to the dugout. As Kattni Forbes will stay in to face the lefty. Well, switch hitter, Wang. He batting from the left side right here. Pitch from Kattni Forbes will go outside, and Panaro takes off for second base. Had no steals on the year before this game, and now today has 2. Carmen Panaro. A very impressive showing out on the base paths. 2 times on, 2 stolen bases. And that's going to be popped up into the shallow outfield. And the catch is made by Chase Hubble. He's been busy. Out number 3 will send it to the top of the 5th inning after the break. Americans still lead by 5.
My fellow American fans, my name is Frankie Morris, your social media manager. You can join us all summer long with many promotional nights and tickets just as low as $10. You can call and get tickets at 716-215-6161 and take a crack at the action.
Back for the 5th inning as there's some trivia down on the field. And this 5th inning here on the Americans Baseball Network is brought to you by Tropical Heating and Cooling. You can call 716-870-0753 for expert service. And in this 5th inning, Bazinet still pitching. He's had consecutive innings where the Ironbacks went down 1-2-3. So it's 6 consecutive batters retired for Bazinet. Actually stretches even further if you include the 2nd inning. Has not let any runners on since the 2nd inning when Keanu Cali got on with a single. So 8 consecutive batters retired, and Chase Hubble will kick things off here in the 5th inning. He'll be followed by Keanu Cali and Nolan Phelan. And that'll be sent down the first base line for a base hit. Cali is 2 for 2 now today. Has had quite the day up to the plate. Rather, that is Hubble. Keanu Cali now up. So Hubble with his first hit of the day, rather. And Chase Hubble up next. And the bunt by Cali. Out at second. So that bunt amounting to nothing here for the Ironbacks. It's still a runner on first and now 1 down. So now it's Cali on first base. And Nolan Phelan will step in. One down, 1 on. It'll be popped up foul. Miller chasing after it, slides, but it'll go out of play. Bazinet. Silver lining is that he has 1 strike on Nolan Phelan with 1 down. Nolan Phelan 0 for 1 today. And the lead at first base by Cowley. Bazinet sends it down the pike. It's a swing and miss by Phelan, who's now in an 0-2 hole. Bazinet searching for strikeout number 3 on the day, number 12 on the season. 0-2 count as Bazinet 1 strike away from the second out of the inning. Pitch to Phelan is going to be a chopper to shortstop Chris Gazaldo. He'll send it to second, and now the throw to first, not in time. So the Ironbacks have pretty much had a runner glued to first base for the entire inning. Chase Hubble led off with a single, and then the bunt got him out at second, got Cowley into first, and the attempted double play will be unsuccessful. It'll go in as a fielder's choice with Phelan on first. Now Jack Sarkuri with 2 down and Phelan on base. Funny enough, every single batter here for the Ironbacks in this inning has been on base, but nobody has gotten past first. Jack Sarkuri starting off a duo of back-to-back Jamestown Community College batters here for the Ironbacks. Ironbacks and Americans using some similar strategy, putting college players together, and that'll be a base hit into right field. And a close call on the slide back into second by Phelan, but now runners on first and second. 2 ducks on the pond for the Ironbacks. First time that's happened all inning. So hit number 5 for Niagara, Canada. Knots things up here with the Americans in the hit column, but they're still down 5 runs with 2 down. And Caden Wilson up to bat. Came in batting 0-8-3, and he's 0 for 1 today, so that's fallen even further. Pitch from Bazinet. May have gotten a piece of it, but either way, it's strike 1. Both runners have a lead. It's Phelan at second, and now our Curry at first with the single. Second hit of the inning for the Ironbacks. Pitch from Bazinet is sent foul into, rather over the bleachers, to the third base concourse. So Keegan Bazinet 1 strike away from calling it an inning. Would be strikeout number 3 if he can punch out Caden Wilson. Checks on second base. Phelan has a lead that is getting bigger and bigger. Here's the pitch. It's lined to shortstop Gazaldo, the leaping catch. The defense has been on fire since some early errors, and the Americans will send it to the bottom of the 5th. We'll be right back.
You know, I'm kind of thirsty.
Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah. Oh,
Thanks, Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better.
Back for the bottom of the 5th, and we will keep it here after this inning for the Wegmans Kids Run. Wegmans sponsoring the birthday package here with the Americans. Do you or someone you know have a birthday coming up? Packages include 10 tickets, 2 large Sammy's pizzas, 10 drinks, customized Wegmans cake, autographed Americans baseballs, and special recognition at the game, starting at just $175. Sign up online at NiagaraFallsAmericans.com. Caleb Sagan coming out of the pen for the Ironbacks after 4 innings of 6-run ball for Ethan Catney-Forbes. And Sagan's first 3 customers will be Evan Core, Gavin Boyle, and Paul Delanto. Evan Core already with an RBI knock tonight. Same goes for Gavin Boyle. They came in different innings. Evan Core's coming back in the first inning. Gavin Boyle with the RBI double coming in the third. 4 of the 6 runs for the Americans came in that third inning. The other 2 in inning number 1. So they have led ever since that bottom of the first when they went up 2-1. Evan Core, the center fielder tonight, stepping in there for Grant Moore. And that's going to be a close shave. Almost hits him at the shoulder of Core for ball 1. Core came in batting .346, .923 OPS. Now has a 9-game hit streak. Another upstairs ball to make it 2-0. Slightly closer to the plate, so Core won't have to duck that one, but 3 consecutive balls to start things off here for Sagan. And if things continue this way, it'll be a 4-pitch walk to start off his day. And there it is. Upstairs, ball 4, Core on base. And Gavin Boyle to follow him up. Boyle spent the spring with Core at SUNY Niagara, now spending the summer together here with the Americans. Boyle, after 2 years at SUNY Niagara, is set to play at Southern Indiana starting next spring. But Boyle has been at Sal Magley for a long time here. Better part of the last 3 years. And he'll take a low ball 1. Has already hit 2 doubles here in just 3 games this season. Just 2 of them here at Sal Magley. The 1-0 count to him. Sagan looking to find the strike zone. Now Core taking off for second. He's safe on the stolen base. So Evan Core in scoring position again. Already scored once, and it's ball 2. It's been 6 consecutive balls for Caleb Sagan to start his day. Boyle with the count in his favor. First strike by Sagan today. And it's a close call on the outside part of the zone. Boyle still has the count in his favor despite the strike call. And it's going to be even further outside. Makes it 3-1. Gavin Boyle. Chance for his first walk of the day or potentially another hit. Sagan checks on Core at second. Lights are on now here at Sal Magley. The delivery is outside again. Gavin Boyle walks in 5 pitches. It's been 9 pitches, 8 balls for Caleb Sagan. And Evan Core stole second base, but he would have gotten there anyways, as it's 2 consecutive walks by the Ironbacks. Paul Delanto with 2 on, looking to really break this game open for Niagara Falls. Already has a home run on the year here at Sal Magley. That came against the Red Wings. Ironbacks right down in the basement with Geneva on the season. They played a doubleheader about a week ago, split in that. Ironbacks' only wins this season have come in Twin Bills. One against the Muck Dogs. That's before they had Oklahoma's Braden Horton. And one against the Red Wings. That's a swing and miss for strike one by Delanto. Still nobody out with 2 ducks on the pond for the Americans. Delanto certainly capable of driving in runners, has 10 RBIs as that's a wild pitch. Runners advance. It's 2 in scoring position for Paul Delanto on the ball. And if they don't score on another wild pitch here, Delanto with a big opportunity to knock them in. One's in the count as Delanto steps back in to face Seguin. Seguin has thrown just 2 strikes so far in 11 pitches. And that's popped up. It's going to be into the shallow outfield, and it'll be caught by Carter Shin for out number 1. Core tagging up. He's in safe. Americans lead 7-1. Great base running by Evan Core. Gets the steal, advances on a wild pitch, and then comes around to score for the second time today. It'll go in as a sac fly. So Delanto gets credit for the RBI on the pop-up. Nick Pass still has Gavin Boyle on second base. And check swing, but did not go. So 1 ball and 1 down as the Americans lead by 6. Seguin already has given up a run here with just 1 batter retired. Foul ball over the first base bleachers. 1's across the board now. Nick Past hails all the way from Eastern Florida State University. Came in batting .296 with a .799 OPS. 0 for 2 tonight, but did come around to score. It's a line drive, and that is going to be caught as Alex Keene moves to his right side. Now Gavin Boyle will slide into third. It's a productive out number 2 for the Americans. And Ethan Madison will bat next. Ethan Madison, 1 for 2 with an RBI. The RBI was number 7 on the year for him. And he takes ball 1 upstairs. Madison here from Tennessee, originally from Kentucky. Dad helped him move in here in Niagara, but now living with his Trevecca Nazarene teammate Jack Satinoff over at the Niagara University dorms. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. 3 consecutive balls now to Madison. It's one of the first here for these Americans. Is one of 2 Americans with a home run on the season. The 3-0 will be in there for the first strike. Fans are frustrated, but still the chance for the walk with the runner on third. Seguin has struggled to find the strike zone most of this inning. And another ball there will put runners on the corners for Graydon Miller. Graydon Miller already gone on once. He was whacked by Katney Forbes, but 0 for 1. Looking for RBI number 9. 3 of those first 8 RBIs came last Saturday against these Ironbacks. It'll be 3 consecutive Saturdays of the battle for the Falls. The Americans will head back to George Taylor Field tomorrow. First pitch at 4 o'clock. In that one, we'll have all the coverage here on the Americans Baseball Network. And that'll go over the head of Graydon Miller for ball 1. Gatons having to move over to avoid the wild pitch. Gavin Boyle could have come home if that had gone wild. But instead, he'll stay on third with a chance to be driven in by Miller himself. The 1-0, check swing, but not even close to going. It's a 2-0 count to Miller on the high ball. Boyle has a lead at third, and same goes at first base for Ethan Madison. Swing and a miss makes it 2-1. If there's any time to swing, it's right there with 2 balls in the count. Still have the count in your favor. Still plenty of time for either a walk or a hit to keep things moving for these Americans, and it's a way outside ball. Almost gets away from Gatens. I could have let Gavin Boyle score had Gatens not found that one. Boyle's eager to come home. And whether it's by Miller knocking him in or by a wild pitch, plenty of opportunities for him to do so. Runners go. Or at least Ethan Madison does. It's a high ball to load the bases. It'll be Chris Gazaldo looking to get on base for the first time today. And Caleb Sagan has nowhere to put him. There is action in the bullpen for the Ironbacks. We'll see if Sagan's day is done or if he'll face Gazaldo and try and get out of this jam. A grand slam here would put the Americans in mercy territory. But Gazaldo has yet to have an extra base hit on the season, so single or a walk here, more likely outcome, and appears that is what Gazaldo will look for. He's headed into this game a .355 hitter, so certainly capable of those one-base hits. Multiple hits in 4 different games this season, including last night in Jamestown. First pitch will go upstairs for ball 1. If Caleb Sagan walks Gazaldo, a run will come in. Brady Bowles on deck. So it's back-to-back Panola hitters with the bases juiced. That'll find the strike zone on the low edge. Count is even on 42. Gazaldo does wear it indeed to honor Jackie Robinson. 7-1 Americans. They look to add to that with the count in Gazaldo's favor. Chris Gazaldo batted .370 at Panola and is pretty close to that here as an American. The 2-1, a swing and a miss. Big cut by Gazaldo, but still has wiggle room. That was strike 2. It's 2s across the board. Now we'll see the kind of patience Gazaldo shows on this crucial pitch from Sagan. That is driven into right field, and it is going to drop just foul. Everyone going to have to go back a little earlier on the timing, and Gazaldo could have driven in multiple runs. In the alley down in right field. We'll zoom things out here at the barbershop, give you a better view of this outfield, and that'll be driven into the outfield. It'll drop for the base hit. Gazaldo with 2 more RBIs and runners on the corners as the Americans expand their lead to 8 runs. It's Brady Bowles up next as the sun is beginning to set here at Sal Magley. 9-1 Americans. And the team's still looking to get into mercy territory here in this bottom of the 5th. They score a couple more here and then just have a couple of clean innings, they can end this game. The low pitch by Bowles for ball 1. So it's 2 down, 2 on Those runners are on the corners. Gazaldo just singled. And Graydon Miller on third. That's going to be into the outfield. Fly ball will drop for another hit. Brady Bowles headed into second. 1 run scores. And now coming around Gazaldo, it will be extra bases for Brady Bowles. He is safe at third. We'll wait for the official call. It will be ruled a triple for Brady Bowles. 11-1 Americans, and now just 2 clean innings, and they can win this game by mercy. My goodness, they have really gotten the bats going after a cold spell against the Tarp Skunks. And now it's Carmen Panaro, the final hitter in the order, taking strike 1. Now Brady Bowles on third base, gets 2 RBIs on that knock. It's 1-1 to Panaro. For Brady Bowles, that is the 2nd extra base hit of the year, 1st triple. And it's now 2-1 to Panaro. Looking to put runners on the corners once again. The triple by Bowles. Scored Miller and Gazaldo. Now 3-1. And Carmen Panaro will get on in just 5 pitches. Runners back on the corners. And now it's back to the top of the order. Ian Huang with a big opportunity. He led off the game with the double. Can he get his 2nd knock of the day? The real question is who will face on the bump, because Caleb Sagan, another meeting on the mound, he's done. Ironbacks will have a new pitcher. We'll get you word on who it is in just a moment. Waiting for word on who the new pitcher is, but it will be a new arm on the bump, the 3rd of the day for the Ironbacks. And that pitcher is Jack Kemp. Kemp 1-0, 5.06 ERA, 5 punch-outs on the year. Also a righty, so Ian Huang will remain on the left side of the plate for his 4th at-bat today in just 5 innings. Americans continue to one-up themselves. They had 2 runs in the 1st inning, beat that with 4 in the 3rd inning, and now have topped that with 5 here in the 5th inning. I mean, if this game even gets to 7, you got to wonder what's going to happen in the 7th inning. Jack Kemp. Comes from Brock University up in Canada. And it'll be runners on the corners for Ian Huang. In case you forgot, it's Brady Bowles who tripled to knock in 2 runs, and then Carmen Panaro at first base after walking. Kemp, the 3rd pitcher of the day for the Ironbacks. Katney Forbes pitched the first 4 innings, and Caleb Sagan knocked out after just 2/3 of an inning pitched and 5 runs allowed. Caleb Sagan will be charged with all 5 of those earned runs. Katney Forbes had 3 earned runs in just 4 innings, another 3 unearned. And it's 2 down with 2 on base. The Ironbacks looking to avoid further damage. Already down by a mercy level margin in this 5th inning. The Ironbacks got mercied 16-6 by the Muck Dogs last night. So this would be their 2nd consecutive loss by mercy rule if they are unable to score any more runs in this game. And even if they do score more runs, got to keep the Americans at 11 here. A 10-run lead through 5 innings. I don't know if anybody saw that coming after the recent losing streak, but nonetheless, the Americans have done well against these Ironbacks all year long, and they'll have more of them tomorrow at George Taylor Field. But for now, it's Ian Huang with runners on the corners. It's in for strike one. The 0-1 count to Wang. Big cut and miss. And Jack Kemp has had much better results than Sagan thus far. He's 1 strike away from getting the Ironbacks out of this mess. Thank you. And it is 1-2 to the batter Huang. Staying alive after going down 2 strikes early. Led off the game with the double. Now looking for his next knock. And he will ground that. Wilson picks it up. It'll be the out at first for out number 3. But the Americans score 5 runs, are now up 10, headed into the 6th inning. We'll be right back. Or rather, we'll keep it here for the Wegmans Kids run. And Yankee Doodle Dan looking to keep up his undefeated record here. He's recording himself as he runs across the bases. Takes a lot of guts for that. And he will stay undefeated. And very nice to see Yankee Doodle Dan in first per usual and Apollo in last per usual. Maybe one day Apollo will beat one of these kids. But now he's running into a kid. Oh my God. Apollo. It's been a rough one out there for him, but Keegan Bazinet going into his 6th inning of work. 5 innings of 1-run ball, and this 6th inning here on the Americans Baseball Network is sponsored by Niagara County Legislator Chris Robins, Laborers Local 91, and Wegmans. It's back to the top of the order for the Ironbacks. It's the 3rd time around for them today. Carter Shin will kick it off, followed by Devin Medor and Andrew Bishop. Here comes Carter Shin. 1 for 2 today. And came around to score on his hit. That was the sole run for the Ironbacks all the way back in the 1st inning. He led off with a hit. And now sits at 1 for 2. Pitch from Bazinet will nearly get a piece of Carter Shin. It's an inside ball 1. The 1-0. Another one inside, and Keegan Bazinet has been very strong in innings 1 through 5 of both of his starts. It's those 6th innings and that 3rd time through the order that he is continuing to work on. 3-0 now. No action in the Americans' pen yet. They are putting their trust in Keegan after a great day by him. That'll get in there for strike 1. Bazinet refinding the strike zone after 3 consecutive balls to start the inning. Bazinet, the 3-1, gets in there. It's a full count. He's battling back into this at-bat. And Carter Shin did not have the green light on either of those. The payoff pitch will be driven into right center field. And under it for the catch is Carmen Panara. One down for the Ironbacks here in the top of the sixth. Bazinet still smooth sailing. Keegan Bazinet. 5 1/3 of one-run ball now. Retired 8 consecutive batters. That was snapped in the 5th inning, though. And that'll drop down for strike 1 on the breaking ball to Devin Medor. Medor is 0 for 2. Came in batting .308, and that'll be another fly ball, this time into left field. Drop is more of a pop-up for out number 2. It'll be Brady Bowles making the grab for out number 2. Andrew Bishop, the final batter due up of the inning with 2 down. He is 0 for 2 tonight. Been below the Mendoza line for most of the season. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss to even things up. One ball and 1 strike. Bishop. That'll drop low and away. And the 2-1 count in Bishop's favor as Bazinet looking to send the Ironbacks down 1-2-3 for his longest outing yet this season. Gets Bishop to chase on strike 2. Baz has been a soft contact pitcher today. 2 strikeouts, but very effective. And that'll be a line drive. A little bit of harder contact there for the base hit. Bishop's first hit of the day. Andrew Bishop, the 6th hit for the Ironbacks, and the first runner on in this inning. Interestingly, all 6 of those hits have come from different sources. Shin, Bishop, Gatens, Hubble, Cowley, and Jacksar Curry, each with a knock for these Ironbacks. Bazinet checks on Bishop, and that'll get in there, dropping down for strike 1. Bazinet arguably having his best outing all season against these Ironbacks. And taking off is Bishop. Can they catch him at second? Yes, they do. Inning over. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th after the break.
My fellow American fans, my name is Frankie Morris, your social media manager. You can join us all summer long with many promotional nights and tickets just as low as $10. You can call and get tickets at 716-215-6161 and take a crack at the action.
Back for the bottom of the 6th inning. I'm enjoying a delicious hot dog thanks to our concession stand. Stop by there at any home game, but the Americans are a great place to host your group, and we are able to offer fundraisers tailored to your group needs, nonprofits, churches, youth sports, and more. For all information, please visit the Americans website, NiagaraFallsAmericans.com. And it'll still be Jack Kemp pitching. You got the final out last inning against these Americans. And it'll start off for the second consecutive inning with Evan Core. All 10 batters came up once for the Americans in the 5th. Evan Core is 1 for 2 with a walk. Had an RBI on his single. Back in the 1st inning. It's ball 1 to Core. Core came in batting .326 with a .923 OPS. Has recorded a hit in every game he's played. It's 2-0 to him. Jack Kemp looking to lower his ERA. Chance to get it below 5 tonight. But the Ironbacks down by 10, and barring some runs in the 7th, the Americans are in good position to win this as that drops foul behind the plate for strike 1. So Keegan Bazinet has gone for 6 innings, giving up just 1 run. If he can keep it clean in the 7th inning, assuming he comes back into the game, would be a complete game on the mercy rule for him. The 2-1 is in there to even up the count at 2. And that is regardless of what happens here in this 6th inning for the Americans. But they could put even more runs on the board with their 2-3-4 due up in Core, Boyle, and Delanto. And that'll drop in. Yes, it'll drop for the base hit for Evan Core. The one hopper will go right into the glove of Chase Hubble after a bounce in the outfield. And there it is. The Americans, with their heart of the order up, have a runner on. So the chance to do even more damage with a 10-run lead. They can have a good weekend against these Ironbacks. It'll be some good momentum to carry into their game on Sunday against the Muck Dogs. Muck Dogs are up to 9-5 on the season, taking on the Tarp Skunks tonight, but nonetheless, the Americans have beaten them once. If they get some momentum, it's possible it can happen again. It's outside for ball 1. Muck Dogs currently lead over the Tarp Skunks 10-5 over at Dwyer Stadium. Pioneers played at 11 a.m., beat the Pilots 13-9. Doubledays and Red Wings very early into their game. It's a foul tip to make it 1-2. Gavin Boyle, looking for his second knock of the night, would join Core in the 2-hit department for the Americans in this game. And that'll drop in for strike 3. Gavin Boyle, 1 hit, but also 2 strikeouts on the night. 1 swinging, 1 looking. So it's 1 down and 1 on for Paul Delanto. 0 for 1 with a sac fly and a walk. So, despite the lack of a hit, has been very productive at the plate today. First pitch to him from Kemp is way outside, and it goes wild. Evan Core takes second and started towards third, but he'll stop there. That'll be Ball one on the count as Core takes second base. Gatens and Kemp meeting. They're trying to get their signs in alignment here. One of the most important things in a baseball game, to have your pitcher and catcher on the same page. Paul Delanto caught the game for the Americans last night, but he's at DH today. The pitch from Kemp will get in there for strike one. It's ones across the board. And that'll be sent up the middle for a base hit. Paul Delanto with his first knock of the night, the 9th for the Americans today, and it will score Evan Core all the way from second base. The Americans now have 12 runs on the board. And even if they give up a run in the 7th inning, they can still win this game. Nick Past up next. 12 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for Niagara Falls, 1-6-1 for the Ironbacks. And up next is Nick Past. He swings and misses for strike one with 1 down and 1 on. Delanto, his second ribby of the night and 12th of the season with that single. And that'll be a high fly ball into deep right field, going back, but catch will be made by Alex Keene. That's 2 outs, and still the runner on first, Delanto. A little more carry on that. Could have been the 3rd home run of the American season. But drops in the warning track territory here at Sal Magley. Warning track is very narrow out there, but the pitch is upstairs to Ethan Madison, who's stepping in for the 4th time tonight. Madison 1 for 2 with a walk. Also has an RBI tonight. He takes a big cut. And it goes right into Gatens. He's down on his hands and knees. We hope he's all right as Richard Griffin comes out to check on him. Marcus Butts, another catcher on this Ironbacks roster, was available as a sub tonight. Brock Ranger also capable of catching. So if Gatens has to come out of the game, one of those two could take his spot behind the dish. Just hoping Gatens is able to hang in there. And Gatens appears to be all right. He's going to put his mask back on and stay in the ball game. Thankful he's all right. And it's a 1-1 count to Ethan Madison. Kemp and Gatens will keep on working here in the bottom of the 6th. Americans have already scored 1 run here in this inning. They've continued to one-up themselves over the course of the night. We'll see if they can do it in this inning, but instead it's a ground ball. Shin to Wilson. Out at 3rd, and that'll do it for inning number 6. The Americans just need a clean 7th inning, and they can win this ball game. We'll be right back to show you all the action.
No, I'm kind of thirsty.
Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better.
back for the 7th inning. And we would like to thank Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino, the official casino of the Americans, for sponsoring Native American Heritage Night here at the ballpark. May not reach the 8th inning, so we'll give them their love here in the 7th as it is grounded to third, and the throw across the field for out number 1 to retire Connor Gaetens, staying in the game after he took a ball to the body behind the dish. The 7th inning also sponsored by Elks Lodge, Bikers Against Child Abuse, the Stalka Agency, and Red Robin. And now Alex Keene up to bat. Takes strike 1 low. Keegan Bazinet looking to finish this game for his longest outing of the season. And that'll be flown into left field. Gavin Boyle will make the catch for out number 2. Keegan Bazinet 1 out away from winning the Americans this game by mercy rule and completing the game as the starting pitcher with just 1 run allowed. And as Chase Hubble steps in, we'll remind you that this home and home will continue tomorrow at George Taylor Field. Okay. First pitch here on the America's Baseball Network at 4 o'clock. It's 2-0. Now to Hubble. Bazinet has 2 outs with nobody on. That'll be upstairs to make it 3-0. Bazinet looking to avoid walking a man here in this 7th inning. Just looking to end this game quick for the Americans. But yeah, that'll get in there for strike 1 on the low inside corner. Close call, but Bazinet painting the corner to get his first strike of the at-bat. Another one in that corner. Count is full with 2 down. Keegan Bazinet 1 strike away from getting the Americans their 2nd mercy rule win of the season. And it comes against another team in the PGCBL basement. Swing and a miss. There it is. Americans win by mercy rule 12-1. Keegan Bazinet with the complete game start. 7 innings of 1-run ball to win the Americans this ball game. They were thriving on offense. They were thriving on defense. And they were thriving on the mound. The Americans with an all-around victory and a chance for the home and home sweep tomorrow at George Taylor Field. That first pitch will be at 4 p.m. And the Americans with a 12-1 victory. Some good momentum to carry into tomorrow, as well as the Sunday home game against Batavia. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. The Americans now up to 8-6. I've been your play-by-play broadcaster, Andrew Roberts. Pleasure to be on the broadcast. Final score here from Sal Magley on Native American Heritage Night. Americans 12, Ironbacks 1. The battle for the Falls is still in the hands of the Americans.